my screw ups, my mess ups, because he's already prepared for what I might do. He knows what I'm going to do before I do it, and he already made preparation for me before I get there. What follows darkness is light. That darkness is the indicator that light is getting ready to shine. So there it is in Genesis, when darkness was upon the face of the deep, and God in the spirit form moved upon the face of the waters, and then God said, let there be. Because darkness precedes the light. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But he needs the darkness there so that God can move upon the face of the deep, so that the shift can take place. Listen, look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that shift take place in the darkness. Oh, y'all didn't hear what I just said. Everybody's not going to see the shift that's happening. They see the chaos, but they don't see the shift. They see all the craziness going on in your life, but they don't understand that underneath the darkness, God is moving in secret. He's moving in quiet. He's moving in the hidden places. He's moving in the cracks and the corners and the crevices. He's moving in places that you cannot see. And when the light comes, they're going to see a new order. But untying. And so the universe then has no choice. First attribute of the secret place. The secret place is a place of revelation. It makes you free because it awakens you and makes you consciously aware that everything that you thought was holding you is an illusion. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I know it's late. I know it is late. I promise you, I just walked in the door. It's been that kind of a day, but I did not want to renege on my promise to see you tonight, and I won't keep you on very long because I know how late it is, and we'll come back tomorrow night and at an earlier time that'll be a little bit more convenient um, for everybody. So because I know it's late, I know it's like 9 o'clock already, and many of you've had a long day. If you were anything like me, you had a long day, and I'm sure that you anticipated us coming on a whole hour or so earlier. And unfortunately, circumstances wouldn't allow it. I just walked in the door, just got here. Um, but I did want to at least come on for a few minutes, just a few minutes to whet your appetite, to begin the conversation. For the few of you that are on right now, if you will, just take a moment and tag and share with as many people as you can think of right now. Let's just try and get the word out. And again, I won't be on very long. I'm probably about 15 minutes, if that long, um, just long enough to kind of expand your thoughts a moment and expand the conversation, broaden it just a little bit. And in preparation for what we will get into more in depth tomorrow. But I am grateful for the few of you that are on with me right now tonight. Thank you for being faithful and for coming. Uh, yes, tomorrow is Saturday, and a lot of people will be off. So we will definitely come back on tomorrow and do it earlier as well. And have the conversation earlier. But I had given my word, and I like to keep my word. So I wanted to at least come on and make an appearance, if for no other reason than to apologize for the lateness of the hour. And just my schedule has just been so jam packed. I think many of you saw that I was flying here and there, trying to handle some things, take care of business, and just been on the run and on the go in these past few days. And just walked in the door not more than 15, 20 minutes ago. And prepared to jump right on and share with you guys tonight for just a second. And I hope that you understand and that you will work with me, and that you're hungry enough and interested and intrigued enough to come back and be with me on tomorrow as we delve further into conversations with God. The last conversation that we had along this line was I thought very enlightening and interesting, very intense. I have been experiencing over these past now 3 to 4 weeks this ongoing dialogue with God. And I know that it sounds like, that's a tough thing for people to kind of digest and swallow. And I know the implications based upon what society has, the opinions that have been shaped in society when someone says that they've been having a conversation or dialogue with God. But please understand that God is nigh you. It is as close as your breath, and that I'm no one special, but I am special. Special for me, and just as you are special. I'm saying I'm no one in particular, that the same God that carries on a dialogue with me and has done so for these past 4 weeks is available to carry on the same type of dialogue with you as well. And I don't pretend to say that I have this kind of an ongoing, consistent dialogue like I've had in these past 4 weeks all the time, because that's not the case. This has been very unusual and a great opportunity for me to be able to ask certain questions that speak to me, that I believe speak to the general hearts of humanity and many of you that are fellow seekers, um, and get clear, concise answers um, that have just been mind-boggling, gobsmacking. I'm telling you, the conversations have just been absolutely amazing. And I've been, many times throughout the conversations having to say slow down, because I'm trying to write down and take notes as fast as I'm receiving the information. And so it's just been absolutely amazing and wonderful. As I said to you months ago, that as we approach the end of this year and beginning of the new year, that we are on a trajectory where we are coming into another great awakening, an awakening in humanity, awakening of the soul, where more and more people are becoming more aware, consciously aware of the all of everything, the creator of all things, that is God, or whatever label that you want to use to describe that ultimate power, ultimate source, ultimate reality. That more and more people are becoming more aware, and that the trappings of religion no longer serves them. And I'm not by any means denigrating any of those religious ideologies. They are a necessary part of our human experience. But there are many of you who are beginning to understand that those things no longer serve you, that they no longer serve you, but they did serve you in a manner to bring you to this place where you began to now ask the kinds of questions that religion cannot answer, or they choose not to answer. You begin to ask the kind of questions that cause you to turn inward and began to explore the infinite recesses of your soul, your spirit, your suke, your psyche, and began to bring to the surface that which you've always known but not been consciously aware of. And that knowing rather coming into conflict with the belief systems that were handed to you by your mother, your father, your environment, your family, your culture, your religion, the society at large, and starting to recognize that there is a truth, there is a level of truth, a deeper truth, an abiding truth that transcends the limiting beliefs that have been forged upon us as being a part of humanity in whatever particular walk of life that you come from. That awakening is happening even as we speak. More and more people are gaining an appetite for the supernatural, the spiritual, to know the things of God, yea, the deep things of God, to go further than they've ever gone before, and to consciously know, consciously aware of what they've always known. And so, and I'm not exempt from that, just as none of you listening to me are exempt. And so I believe that is the reason that I've been able to, or I've been having rather, these series of conversation. Well, it's not even a series, this ongoing conversation Let's say it like that, because not a series. This sounds as though it's been broken up. It hasn't. It's really just been an ongoing conversation. And I think the only reason that it's been broken into pieces is because I can only stay awake for so long. uh, and so I'll have to make time to sleep and do other things and take care of my day-to-day living. But it's been an ongoing conversation covering a wide gamut of subjects, um, um, down to the very nature of humanity and the nature of our being and the purpose of our existence, the general purpose of our existence in this three-dimensional form, to understanding what our life journey is across every iteration and across the multiverse, understanding our transition that we take, that each of us make. And I asked a very specific question when I was having the conversation about what we call death, which is really it's really a misnomer. That's really an illusion, because we think of death as final when in fact it is not. The soul, which is pure energy, never dies. It just changes form. It takes on a different form until it chooses the next form that it will assume. Yeah. And I ask a very specific question, and I guess I'll share that answer with you tomorrow when we come back on. I ask questions about my own life and how many iterations of life I've experienced, and in what forms, and so on and so forth, and receive some very interesting answers. That question led into a much more broader conversation that I want to share with you, and get into. I won't try and hurry through it tonight. We'll get into details about it on tomorrow night. I also talked and asked questions about the whole garden narrative, and what that allegory, what are the deeper meanings of that allegory. And so I want to get into that with you as well on tomorrow night, especially when it comes down to how we have somehow devolved in society into a more authoritarian, totalitarian type of existence in the earth, confining ourselves to a bunch of rules, regulations, dogmas, legalisms that serve only to confine. They don't define; they confine us. And the thing that the soul resists more than anything else is limitation. And that was never the original intent for humanity, for us as the divine expression of God in three-dimensional form. That it was always the intention of God for us to have a full, robust experience in every iteration of life, because in doing so, we enable or facilitate God experiencing itself as human. God had experiencing itself in multiple forms across all of the universe, the multiverse, and across ages, spaces, and time. Okay, so I've already been on way longer than I said. I said 15. It's been 20 minutes, so I'm gonna quit. But I wanted to keep my word to you, and also say that I will be back on tomorrow. We will come on earlier. I think I've got my day organized well enough to where I'll be able to get on early enough. Not even 8 o'clock, maybe around about 6:30 or 7 o'clock, so that or at the latest 7:30, so that we're able to have a more full and robust conversation. So go ahead and mark it on your calendar, set your alarm, set an alert. If you haven't signed up for the text notifications, go ahead and sign up for that. I'll put it on the screen for you. Hold on just a second. If you want to receive free notifications of when we're getting ready to come on and have the conversation, go ahead and follow the instructions that's scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now. Text the word emerge to 833-444-0163, and you'll receive a free text notification of when we're getting ready to come on the air. That way you'll be alerted and you'll be able to join us in the conversation. I can promise you it's going to be intense, intriguing, mind-blowing, and it's going to be a great conversation tomorrow night. So thank you so much for tuning in very quickly and joining me for this moment. I look forward to sharing with you on tomorrow night. Until then, you have a wonderful and productive, restful evening. Okay? Goodbye.